How to use the Chrome browser. Part 3, this part, shows how to use additional features of the Chrome browser. Another command here is the Bookmarks command. It will let you, if you hovered over it, it'll let you select from any of the ones that are on the favorites bar. You would do this selection if you had hidden the favorites bar, which we described earlier how to do. So you can open any of the websites that are on the favorites menu by clicking here. If you've put the rest of your favorites in the other bookmarks folder, you could open them from here. If you haven't, you can look at the Bookmarks Manager by clicking Bookmarks, Bookmark Manager. Now you have access to every bookmark stored in your computer for the Chrome browser. You can open these folders, you can open the websites in those folders. And you can move them around, change which folder the bookmarks are in, delete them, and so forth, rename them, and anything else you want to do to manage your collection of bookmarks. So that's how the Bookmarks Manager works in Chrome. Let's close that tab. Let's continue down this menu. The Edit menu has the standard cut, copy, paste commands. I'll point out that if you're looking at a website on the internet, you can't cut anything from it. That would be changing their website. You can't paste anything in it. You could copy. So you'd highlight something on a web page, and then you could copy it, and then you could paste it somewhere else in some other program. You could also paste it on the website. If it's your own copy of a website and it's stored in your computer, then you would be able to paste, cut, copy, all of those things. But on an internet website, you can't cut and you can't paste because it would be changing somebody else's website. Now the Zoom will let you, and by the way, I should point out, these commands are in many Windows programs, and I always use the shortcuts. The shortcut for cut is Control X, for copy is Control C, and for paste is Control V. That makes it much easier to use those commands. Remember, you first highlight some text, then you can cut, copy, and then once you've cut or copied, then you can paste. The Zoom command changes the text size in little steps, but it's much easier to use Control plus and Control minus to do that. You could save a copy of the web page in your computer if you wanted to adapt it for something else you were working on. The find command is fairly useful. I'll demonstrate it on my home page. So I'll click find. You can also use the shortcut Control F. That's easy to remember for the find command. Now I have a box here that I can type stuff I want to find. Let's type something we know is on the page. How about Ameritrade? A. The first place it finds it is highlighted in Wallace. M. Second place is Amex. E. Also Amex. R. Now we're down to Ameritrade. So we have found the thing we're typing in the box. If we keep typing, it'll just select more letters. You would use that mostly on an internet website if you're trying to find something you want to read and it's a big website and you don't quite know where it is. That's the main use for the find command. Remember, Control F is the shortcut, and I do use that particular shortcut. So let's go see what else is on our menu. Print command, of course, will print the current web page. Tools menu will let you manage extensions, which are mostly toolbars. For instance, if I go to Toolbars Extensions, it shows me the extensions that are active, that are available. It looks like there really aren't very many. The only one that you can turn autocomplete on and off. That's if you're typing and it'll add letters that it thinks you're going to type next. And you can get more extensions that will work with the Chrome browser from the internet. So that's basically the extensions. Let's close that. Let's go back to the menu. Extensions were under Tools. Don't really see anything else there that I really need to go over at this point. History lets you look at which websites, a list of the websites you visited recently, and select from them if you want to return to something, say you did yesterday or last week or something. Downloads shows you a list of programs or files that you've downloaded from the internet recently without clearing the list that shows up here. It'll also show you, if you're currently downloading a file, it'll show you that file and how far along a download is. The Settings option, click Settings to select options to change the way Chrome operates. These two options were described earlier. You can click Set Pages to select the web page that Chrome opens on startup. You can click Change under the Appearance Show Home button options. If you click Change, you can select which web page opens when you press the Home button. Under Search, if you click the symbol here, you can change which search will search for the characters you type in the address field at the top. And you can select from any of the searches that are installed on your computer that Chrome can use. If you want to make changes to this list, you can click Manage Search Engines. Then you have a list of the ones that are in your computer. You can, on this list, if you click one, you can make it the default. It's another way to set a default. Or you can get rid of it from your computer. You can do that for any of the ones that are already there. There's some other search engines that it knows about that you can also use. But you also can get new search engines. If you want to add another search engine, you can do it by filling in the information here when you click this box. However, Chrome, it's a little trickier to add search engines than with other browsers. You can look at the help for Chrome, which you can get from the symbol here in selecting help, and it'll show in detail how to add a search engine. It's not a simple process with Chrome. It may be simpler with other browsers, so you might want to open a different browser, add the search engines, and then connect the search engine on this page in the Chrome browser. The other options here on the settings page that you will be likely to use. We've already described changing the default browser. It is currently Google Chrome. Remember, the default browser is the one that will open web shortcuts on your computer that do not have a browser address built into them. So you can, if this were not the default browser, it would say it is not the default browser, and then it would have a button to click to make Chrome the default browser. All browsers have that feature in their settings somewhere. You can click a button to make that browser the default browser. Now, if you click Show Advanced Settings, you get more options in Chrome. Now, I'll describe 2 or 3 that you might use. Okay. You might find useful changing the font size to make it larger or smaller, so either you can read it or you have a reasonable amount displayed on the web page. If you want to change the fonts, you can do that. It'll keep that setting each time you open the browser. You can zoom the page and it'll keep that setting. I would suggest that you maybe live with the, adjust this one to one you like, and then if you need to adjust a particular web page, just use Control plus and minus for that web page. I don't use this option. Let's see if there's one more option here that you might want to use, the downloads. That tells Chrome where to save files that you're downloading from the Chrome browser. You might find that useful. The default page is in your Documents folder, and it's called in a folder called Downloads. If you wanted to put that somewhere else, for instance on your desktop in a folder, you could change this and to cause that to happen. Other than that, you really should keep your hands off all these other options. Don't change an option unless you're absolutely certain you know exactly what you're doing, because you can cause severe problems that way. Okay, let's hide these advanced settings. And let's go back to the main menu, to the options menu basically. Now we've described pretty much all the settings you're likely to use. About Google Chrome will show you the version of the browser that you're currently using. I'm using version 29.0 and in all those numbers of Google Chrome. And it also tells you that I'm up to date. So it'll tell you on your computer, is your browser up to date? If it isn't, there will be a place to check to cause it to update. And again, there's a Get Help here when using Chrome button where you can get some help. And there's a button if you have a problem you'd like to report to Google so they can fix it. You can click that and there will be an email form you can fill out and describe your problem. That's pretty much everything we need to describe on the Help menu. Let's go back to our screen. That was the About Google Chrome menu. The Help menu itself lets you request help for various topics on Chrome. You can read it for yourself. There's a lot of topics. You can search for a particular thing that you want to look for, and you can even click the microphone and say what it is you want to search for, and it'll search the help files for what you say here. For instance, search engines. Now click the search and it will tell you everything you always wanted to know about search engines but were afraid to ask. Okay, let's go back to this page again. We pretty much covered everything on those under the options menu here. The exit here will actually close the browser. I'll just say that is the end of this tutorial, and I'll click this button to close the browser. Thanks for watching.